Jen here, the editor of Men's Psyche. Okay, today we are looking at a question about being lonely at work. And we had a few responses from our audience and our readers to help people who are having difficulty at work, feeling alone at work. So the first response to talk about was basically someone saying that just accepting the fact that people are beep, beep, not very nice, and that there will be a range of people at work. They are a group of people that you have been thrown together with. So not your friends, not your family, no one you would choose necessarily to get along with. So having an expectation that the people at work are a random set of people, usually, and of course you could feel alone in that circumstance. So more along the lines of acceptance and discussing the fact that the group of people at work will obviously be made up of difficult personalities, just like the rest of the public. So the work is obviously can be a high pressure environment, so that could make getting along with people, relationships, and things like that a little more difficult. But just accepting the fact, not expecting people to be nice at work necessarily. That was one suggestion we had to help our reader. The next one was possible the possibility that you're in the wrong job for your personality. So I thought that was an interesting answer to think about if you're lonely in the job, not necessarily because of the people, or but more the type of work. Are you suited to this type of work for your personality, for your interests, for your skills, for your coping mechanisms? Lots of different aspects there to think about. If you're perhaps an introverted type and your job involves a lot of public speaking, things like that, these sorts of things could make you feel alone at work if you're the only one struggling with those particular problems. So if loneliness is a problem, this person suggested considering changing the actual line of work you're in, which of course is not easy, but you can certainly train for free these days. A lot of online training, a lot of courses, free and paid, available to people to do in their own time. So that could be an option. Try and do some. I think there's also career counselling available to people too, which can help people who are lonely at work because the actual type of work does not suit them. So they're perhaps lonely intellectually. That was a nice response. We also had another person who said they are extremely lonely at work. They feel like they're the only one at work uh, that understands their particular field. So I'm not sure what field that was, but they said they were alone from that standpoint. And they also felt alone socially. So I think this is extremely common for people to be at work, which is not necessarily supposed to be social as such. I mean, of course, there are people at work, but socializing and work are not necessarily two compatible things. So feeling socially isolated, I think, would be extremely common. And this response was excellent because I thought it was quite a good action that anyone can take. And that was to break up the day, which of course a lot of people have lunch breaks, depending on your schedule. Break up the day with a completely unrelated activity to work. So he used his lunch break in this instance to go and start a new hobby. So you might not be thinking that when you're at work, you're too busy, you're focusing, you might be a little bit exhausted from your work, you might not have that energy to go and do something like this. So it wouldn't have to be a hobby, I'm guessing. You could do anything unrelated to work in your lunch break or any type of break that you have, if that is what your structure of your company is like. And think about socializing outside of work. So you're at work, but you take a break, you go and meet some like-minded people just for half an hour perhaps. Maybe you could even start a group of your own in the local region, a walking group, a book club. I mean, whatever you can do in the time that you have. I'm making it sound like you've got 3 hour lunch break here, but whatever time you have available, think about turning your work week into more about you. Put the focus on some of your likes and the loneliness that you feel when you're actually at the office may subside because you've actually got a completely new interest. Even though it's working hours, you've actually found something just to break up the day, break up the loneliness, and not feel so isolated in your particular workplace. So good options there, I thought. I think it's extremely common, this problem. I think workplaces can be daunting for a lot of people and personality types, and they're not necessarily healthy if the management aren't on top of these things either. So, and also the expectation that they're supposed to be social, I think, is possibly not quite correct. But it's all dependent. If you're having trouble at work, let us know below if you've done anything to overcome that, or in fact how you deal with it. If you do anything at all, that would be very helpful, and we appreciate your comments. Thanks very much. Please join us at menspsyche.com for more conversations, questions and answers. We hope to see you there.